everyone, and welcome again to K Podcast. Today I want to talk about this topic that have been circulating on TikTok about women getting drafted into the military. And this video have been circling around, and I don't know. A lot of people are laughing. A lot of people are making excuses. A lot of women are like, "Oh, I'm gonna get away with this because, you know, oh, I'm not doing that." Oh, giving some other excuse, but none of the excuse that they have made an actual sense to me. So the excuse, this is not an excuse. The fact that a lot of rights have been taken away, especially the Roe v. Wade topic, with women's body autonomy. You know, women in especially in the US cannot access that, and I'm going to say this in many parts of the world, and let's just concentrate in the US at this point. Um this video that I've been circulating about women being drafted, and I'm like, why are you drafting women into the military? Meanwhile, you are out here taking Roe v. Wade away. These women are not having full body autonomy, but you want to talk about women being drafted. And some people say, oh, equal right, equal this. And I'm like, no, because if you're taking away a particular thing from where, especially when it comes to body autonomy, that is not equal, because men are not getting their body autonomy rights taken away from them. The state is not making that um, option for them. They're not taking away what they can do and what they can't do. Now, I find it funny because this guy actually brought up this video, and I'm going to bring up two videos of women giving their own perspectives about this particular topic. And I'm going to come up with my own commentary as usual. So let's go.
Drafted, it is not just the boys. Ladies 18 to 26, hope you're ready to get drafted. It is not just the boys that will get drafted in World War III. It's no mystery that nearly every branch of the military has not been meeting its recruiting goals. The Air Force, the Army, the Navy missed by over 7,000 sailors, and the Coast Guard's not even real military, but we'll include them to be nice, but they missed too. And women being drafted into the military, this is not the first time this conversation has come up. Back in 2021, which doesn't he look so grumpy? Senator Hawley brought this back up in 2022, and I doubt he's forgotten it considering the saber rattling happening globally. And there are several other senators that are in support of women being required to register for the draft. Besides the recruiting crisis.
Okay, if it's gonna be mandatory for women to get drafted into any of this, military, whatever you want to call it, does it mean that you're gonna drop the Roe v. Wade thing? Is it that you're gonna leave women to have full body autonomy? Because if we are gonna be out here talking about, oh, ladies, get ready to be drafted, hey, can we talk about the full body autonomy, the rights to women having the right to their own bodies? Because men are not taking men's body rights, body autonomy rights are not being taken away from them. It's not being taken away from them. So if we're gonna play these women get ready, then let women have full rights to their own body autonomy. But no, they got other plans, because I saw another TikToker bringing up another perspective of, NoFault Divorce. And I'm like, you're trying to talk about NoFault Divorce. You're trying to talk about women getting drafted. But women do not have you are trying to take away women's right to their body autonomy, and you're trying to take away women's right to divorce somebody, and you're now talking about you're going to be mandatory to get drafted. What does that mean? Because it sounds like a lot of men are making all these decisions on their own. So no, women have the right to be like, I'm not gonna get drafted. I'm not gonna go over there and start and fight in a war that men probably started. Because at the end of the day, it's men that started it. I think you guys should go face whatever you started. If you started the war, men like you should go over there and fight for the war that you started. I don't think women should be included in that, because you started it, then finish it. But this is the topic. that really hurts me is the fact that when I scroll through the whole of my For You page on TikTok, or whenever this topic comes up, a lot of people are like, yeah, equal rights, equal service. And I'm like, okay, I would agree with equal right, equal service, women being drafted, if these women that you're talking about have full body autonomy, have their full right to their own body. But no, Roe v. Wade is being overturned, and a lot of people are out here be like, "Yeah, you about to be dropped." No, 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 we are not about to play that game. Let's make it so that women have full rights to their own bodies, and then let's not start talking about no-fault divorce. Then we can talk about if it's okay for women to be drafted, but without any of those reasons, if you do not put any of those on the plate and be like, okay, you got this, you got, because I don't see men body autonomy, the right of men having full body autonomy being taken out. It's like at this point, I've seen a lot of women trying to make excuse why they will not be drafted or how they will escape all of this, and I'm like, you're making the excuses are not making sense, because first of all, you got a whole case of the Roe v. Wade topic, and now they are talking about no-fault divorce. You have all of that to actually ask these people that are trying to make all of this, and ask them, why are you drafting me when you are out here literally trying to take away many of especially the right to my own decisions when it comes to my body? The right questions are not being asked. The right questions are not being asked. So I'm gonna play this, and then I'm gonna come back.
This comes at a time when the president has approved an inactive reserves to be called back, approximately 3,000 personnel. And there are several consultants to the White House and the Pentagon, like Lieutenant Colonel Joe Plinzler, who has not only requested for women to be drafted, but a mandatory draft for all citizens. He thinks it'll help the public connect.
Then shouldn't all citizens have full right to whatever the other is having? Because overturning Roe v. Wade, and now we are talking about no-fault divorce, who is that going to be affected? Women. So you're taking away piece by piece, and then you're coming out and be like, yeah, you're going to be drafted now. Like, why? Why? Then if this body autonomy is going to be taken away, I say, let's say the men's body autonomy, right to their own body autonomy, should be taken away, then make it equal. Since people want to talk about equality, make it equal. Make it equal. Then we can talk about if women should be drafted.
Better with the government and why they make decisions. And this all comes at a time when the U.S. continues to antagonize Russia by sending funding and military equipment to Ukraine, and antagonizing China by funding Taiwan, so good luck.
Yeah, that is just a whole lot of nonsense. But let me bring up this other video over here of this woman actually talking about this topic.
Young women for the first time to keep the bill before Congress would require young women for the first time to register for the draft just like young men.
I have an inkling that something else is going on here, and let me share. We should all know at this point that men and women are biologically different. Throughout time, men have been the ones who have gone out to war, who have done the hunting, who have fought off any...
Okay, first of all, not from the time, because right in time, women were participating in many of those, even before civilization and all of that. Women were also hunting, so I don't like the aspect of men with the hunters. No, women were also hunting as well. Women were also hunting, women were also in battles. But this particular one, hi, Sun and Sunflower, hi, girl. But this particular issue over here, I don't like this aspect of women never hunted, women never went to war. That is a lie. Women did. For centuries, for a long time. So I don't know which particular women never, which history some people are, pointing to. But when it comes to the whole world, it's a different history. You get me? Now, my own topic, in my own decision, or my own opinion in this is, if these are the women from the US that you're talking about, they're about to be drafted, I'm like, first of all, why are these women not giving all of these things that have been taken away from them? And now that you are trying to set a no-fault divorce in place, and yet you're trying to fear, it sounds like a fear-mongering decision, a fear-mongering way to fear-monger women so that they can, sit. I don't know what kind of plan they got going on, but I'm not here for it.
Existential threat to the women and children. Meanwhile, the women are the ones who are doing the gardening, rearing the children, maybe some weaving, because
Women, okay, maybe she's talking about the U.S. History, because all over the world there are women that have been participating in both gardening and also hunting, and also you know uh when it comes to going to war, there were women that also went to war in those days, in many centuries ago. So maybe we're talking about the U.S. History.
of our biological differences. I find it very interesting how now they're trying to make it so that women are required to be drafted into the military. And that's when this information becomes very interesting. Before the pandemic, births had been steadily declining for many years. There were almost 600,000 fewer annual births in 2019 relative to 2007, a 13% reduction. The size of the COVID-related baby bust and subsequent rebound were meaningful in that context, but they also represent short-term deviations from an ongoing trend of considerably greater importance. Birth counts in 2022 are still below what they were in 2019. Simply put, birth rates have been steadily on the decline. I believe that this move is going to inspire more women to get pregnant. And I believe, and I think my inkling is correct, that this is the major reason for this historic change. I just can't imagine that most women in America today, especially younger women, are gonna want to be drafted into the military. It's much more plausible that they're gonna find a man and get pregnant so that they can stay home than be drafted away.
Yeah, like I said, it's a fear mongering tactic. And this is the thing. I saw some men on the internet laughing, oh my God, oh, they're about to be drafted now. Yeah. And I'm like, you guys be the first one starting the war. That most of the time is men that are starting the war. I think you should go handle your business, because this is a man's war. Go over there. It's another man plus another man starting a whole lot of problems over there. You guys should go face your business. Now, this is another topic over here about the no fault divorce that have been going on. This is a topic that I saw another woman actually give her intake in this, and she was like, women of color have been literally telling these women that this is what is going to be happening, but they didn't listen. So let me just bring up this video.
Very worrying. So we all remember a little while back when Roe v. Wade was overturned, right? And Republicans disguised it as a scare tactic like abortion bill. Well, unfortunately, it was actually so much more than that. Roe v. Wade essentially protected our right to privacy, which covers way more than just pregnancy. Because really, the right to privacy protected so many things like trans, LGBT, women. And when that was overturned, we knew that everything else was now up on the chopping board for attack, and what Republicans have decided to own in on right now is the right to a divorce. So what's happening right now is Republican representatives in states like Texas, Louisiana, etc. are trying to fight and get overturned the no-fault divorce rules. And
while we are talking about this, we are talking about women going to be drafted. I'm gonna say this. As I said, there is a scare tactic in this, and I'm not against women getting drafted, but at least give women the same autonomy, the same thing that men have, of not taking their rights away, of not taking their rights to leave a spouse, especially an abusive spouse, alone, of not wanting to be in a toxic relationship. So let's say if the person is an emotional abuser and he doesn't really put hands on you, you don't have any evidence that he's doing that. If it's a narcissist, you don't have any evidence of showing that this person have been toxic this way and you need to get away from that person. That's why when I hear the topic of drafting and then I hear the topic, they have two. At this point, I feel like they're speaking from both sides of the mouth. There's one part, oh, you're gonna get drafted, but we're gonna take away, a no fault. We're gonna put NoFault Divorce on the whole topic, and then we're gonna talk about how you're gonna go since equal rights equal this, but we have actually overturned Roe v. Wade. But it's still equal. What? It's still equal rights. Where's the equal rights in that? And the fact that a lot of women are not making noise about this, they are not talking about this, and instead they're making silly excuses. I've seen a lot of silly excuses of women, especially when the drafting topic, in this particular drafting topic, I've seen a lot of silly excuses from women. Talking about, oh, I'm just gonna do this. And I'm like, no. You got, see, if they're gonna do this, then you can as well, go to either Congress or Supreme Court and tell them, hey, see, this is the thing. If I'm not getting a full body autonomy right for myself, I'm not doing this. Because you're not doing this for men, why should I be? After you've been trying to turn down Roe v. Wade, you finally done that. Now you're talking about NoFault Divorce. You're expecting me to still feel like, oh, yeah, every other thing is fine. No, it's not. And now you're talking about I'm supposed to go fight a war that a man started with other men, and all of a sudden I'm supposed to be in between that. No, baby, this is all on you. Go over there and do your thing. Go over there and do your thing.
What are the no-fault divorce rules? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Way back in the day, when women were treated as property, like they're trying to do now, a woman had to present a reason why she wanted to be divorced, and she had to back that up in a court of law. It was actually hard to get a divorce. If you wanted to leave your marriage because you were unhappy, you couldn't do that. You had to prove why you were unsafe or why you couldn't stay in that marriage anymore, and obviously this put a lot of women in danger. Because obviously all that stuff, as we know, is really hard to prove. So the creation of the no-fault divorce just meant that either party could safely leave the marriage if they just decided they didn't want to be married anymore, which is a valid reason to not want to be married anymore. I'm sorry, Braden, if I don't want to be married to you anymore, you can't just chain me to a chair in the basement and keep me there. I'm a person, not an object. You can't just force me to stay with you, okay? And a lot of the Republicans speaking up and supporting this are like, well, my wife just decided she was unhappy one day and left, and I didn't even get a say in it. Buddy, I promise you probably had plenty of says in it, okay? Would it have killed you to remember an anniversary or Cheryl's birthday even once? No, okay? And you can't just force her to stay with you. But unfortunately, we know that the GOP does not see women as people, but they're just trying to revoke our rights slowly, one by one, until we just become property to them again. And I don't think I need to elaborate further on how concerning that is and how worried I am that no one is talking about what's happening right now. And what absolutely amazes me the most is that boomers will pull stuff like this and then sit around and wonder why Gen Z is fighting back and deciding not to get married and settle down anymore. Disrespectfully, it sounds awful. No one wants to be married to you for the rest of forever, Stan, and pumping out your kids like a prized cattle at the state fair.
And she got it right. She got it right. And this is the reason why when I saw that, oh, women are going to be drafted, I'm like, this is a fear-mongering tactic. See, this is a fear-mongering tactic to be like, oh, we've taken away Roe v. Wade, but you still don't want to, get over here and start popping out kids and, making the rich richer. And this is the funniest part of it. They're expecting more kids, but they don't want to give you, the things, so the what you need to support those kids. You're still gonna be working you're still gonna be working a long day, a full job and also pay tax. If you have those kids, you're gonna pay for your kids because they'll be doing nothing about that. The rich will be getting richer off of your back. Your children will grow up to make the rich richer by working for them. So at the end of the day, you are literally almost like a cattle that is just there for profit. And even I'm not gonna say this, a cattle will have a little bit of benefit because at least the people owning the cattle are actually providing those cattle with feed, and food and medication and all of that. You're going to be the one doing all of that on your own, but they're going to be expecting you to pump out kids so that they can enrich the economy and work for the rich and make the rich richer. And you're going to be in your one-bedroom apartment while some men are going to be out here on podcasts talking about, I don't want to date single mothers. Meanwhile, they're out here running around creating single mothers. So now that women are waking up and being like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to stay in a marriage that is toxic. I'm not going to, I want to be a single woman with cats and pets. I don't want marriage. I don't want kids. All of a sudden, all these issues are coming up. It is funny, isn't it? Instead of them targeting what is the real problem, many of the time, the real problem is the economy. In this economy, you cannot even feed yourself. You cannot even pay rent for yourself. The rich are making trillions out of this. The main problem has been the economy, the expenses. It's very expensive to raise a child. A lot of people are not able to afford rent or food for themselves. And a lot of people are talking about women, we're taking away NoFault Divorce. You are not doing anything. Okay. How about we take away Roe v. Wade? Oh, you're still not going to budge? Okay, now you're getting drafted. That is just all mind games. I'm crazy. And I'm going to say this, women, you're going to have to wake up and you're going to have to do something about this. If it means going to the Supreme Court and literally telling these people, hey, you want me to be drafted? You want kids? Pay better. Make sure I have a better health care, then I might think about it. Support in any way you can so that those kids can go to school and have food and have a better place to live in. That I do not have to work 24/7 of my life just so that the economy can be boosted by how many kids I have, because those kids at the end of the day are going to be working for somebody that is not me. They're going to be working for big corporations. Now, that is all for now, but I'm definitely coming back today because I have another story that I really, really want to talk about. And it's going to definitely be today. I'm probably going to make a post and set a timeline so that I definitely do come back after. Now, with that being said, I'm going to say this. Thank you all for being here. Do not forget to press that like button. Leave your commentary about this whole issue because I find it very, very, unsettling. Now, with that being said, I'm going to say this. Thank you all for being here one more time. Do not forget to press that like button, subscribe, and I will see you all on the next one. Have a great day and goodbye.